Welcome to another session of the Rise Summit. This is the session on personal finance, and I'm sure you've already seen the full topic we'll be handling this night from the flyer. And I'm happy to announce to you that the, the speaker is already here. And so I'll go ahead to read his bio so that he'll immediately to take his session. Thank you very much for waiting. All right. Let me share my screen. All right, so I hope you can see my screen now. So Godfrey Kelechukwu Godfrey is a second generation banker with a decade of experience in Nigeria's foremost finance sector, a financial educator, business strategist, and personal finance consultant. He is a graduate with a degree in accounting, business administration, an MBA in VIEW, specializing in finance, and a certified financial literacy trainer. Godfrey is the convener of the Boardroom, a symposium for financial education and youth development, and the curator of the online episodes of Money Monday with Kay, under the umbrella of Kay's Money Talk, which is a personal finance, business immunity, and monetary policy enlightenment program for young people. He is a recipient of the Abia Under 35 Award, class of 2022, under the prestigious Godly Leadership Center and Finric Business School. Godfrey's goal is to reposition the finance of the next generation, reducing poverty and strengthening the society's economy with one naira, one man, and one business at a time. So I hope you all heard that. Make sure you are able to hear that. Okay, I hope you all heard that. So, as you can see, our speaker tonight has so much to see. We have a lot to learn from him. From his bio, we can also understand that he is passionate about young people. And so let's make welcome to the stage Mr. Kelechi Godfrey. You can join us now, sir. The floor is yours.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, hi, everyone. Good evening. So, don't mind how I'm passionate about young people. It makes me look as though I'm old. I'm not an old person. I'm a young person like every single person here. So, hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm sorry I couldn't make it on the first few periods where the conference was going on. I had a very tight schedule and things were clashing back to back. But the amazing thing is I'm here and I'm with you guys, and I want us to go straight down to business. Let me adjust this camera a bit. All right. Okay, so we're looking at a very, very interesting topic, and it's building stability through skills, your pathway to financial empowerment. It's thinking about finance, right? When it comes up, people feel a whole lot. No one wants to talk about their money. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible enough? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you very well.
We can hear you.
All right. So you see this topic of finance, right? People are shy when it comes to talking about finance. No one wants to talk about it. I'm seeing someone typing, I can't hear you. No one wants to talk about it. People just feel like it's their personal thing and it shouldn't be, delved into. Wow, I'm seeing I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh my God. Am I audible enough?
Those I can't hear you. That's for some 2 minutes back, not now.
Okay. That's better. So let's go down straight to the topic, right? So when it comes to finance, building stability, the first thing that comes in when it comes to finance, it's making money, earning, right? So there are four areas in which you can earn from. You earn by the step one, you earn by doing what you learned in school, that's through your degree. You earn by doing what you love doing, that's your hobby, then your skill or your talent. Then you end by doing what you learned outside the school environment. Basically, things like Photoshop, graphics design, hair making, and the rest. There are some certain skills you can pick up outside the school environment. You can earn through that. You earn by investing. That's using money to make more money. And the last one, which I just discovered recently, is earning by abundance, right? Out of the abundance of other people. For example, now, if you need 1,000 naira and you have 10 friends who have 1,000 naira and you ask them each for 100 naira each, right? 10 of them give you 100 naira. That's automatically 1,000 naira. So out of the abundance of other people, you can actually earn. But I don't really advise it. But it's the way people make money. At least beggars make money through this way. Now, the area we're looking at is making money through the total I mentioned, making money outside what you learned outside school, making money from what you learned outside school, which has to do with development of skills and some other things. Now, there are three main important skills as a young person you should have, minus what you want to learn, minus it being video editing, photography, programming, whatever it is, minus learning those particular skills. There are three main things you need to learn, which I wrote down. Now, you need to learn how to sell, you need to learn how to build, and you need to learn how to lead. I'll say it again. You need to learn how to sell, you need to learn how to build, and you need to learn how to lead. Now, learning how to sell has to do with your products or your skills or your services that you're offering. How do you learn how to sell? Number one thing, you learn how to sell by looking for a problem in the society and fixing that problem. Majority of the times, it might not be a problem. It might be something someone hates. For example, if you're in a place where people hate doing their laundry, that is a good mind for you. If you're in a place where people hate taking out their trash, that is a good mind for you. If you're in a place where people, what do people hate? People hate washing their toilets, right? Everyone has dirty toilets and no one washes it. That is a good mind for you. So, minus the fact that you need to look out for problems, you need to look out for what people hate doing. You need to look out for what people have inefficiencies doing. For example, there are people who don't know how to use Microsoft Word, people don't know how to use Microsoft Excel. It's not that they hate it, but it's an inefficiency. They don't have the skills, they don't have the knowledge, they don't even have the time to learn. But you can fit into that role and take up that burden from them and say, okay, since you're not able to do this, I can be able to do this for you and you pay me in return. Right? I don't know if you're on the same page. Then you look out for things that are like nuisance, things that people hate doing. I said that already. So for example, there are people that hate cleaning their compound. Especially in a school environment, there are lodges you walk into and they are all dirty, right? That's people constitute nuisance. And you can reach out to them like, if you guys pay me like 3K, I can sweep this entire compound for you. You do that to 10 lodges, that's like 30K. And if it's a continuous service you do every week, that's a stream of income, true or false? So the idea is learning how to sell. But the big question is, what are you going to sell to the people, right? You need to have something tangible. That's why I said you need to look for a problem you can solve. You need to look at what people hate doing. You need to look at inefficiencies and nuisances in the society that you can actually pick up and actually work on. That way, you're building up products, you're building up systems, you're building up platforms, you're building up services that you can actually sell. Now, the second thing is learn how to build. Right? People don't really know how to, they don't even know how to build up a business from scratch. I was talking with someone today and he was talking about a logistics and an errand business, right? And it was like, he wants to spend roughly about 2 million on an app, making an app. And then with that app, he can be able to get customers and everything. And I was like, why would you want to spend 2 million building an app when you need to actually build structure for your business? And it's like, I don't really understand. I think, first of all, you have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a huge community. You have phone numbers of 1,000 people, of 700 people, of 500 people. What is the possibility that your clients are on your contacts? And it was like, okay, where am I heading to? And it's simple. Get a dedicated phone number and a dedicated line. Send broadcast messages to these numbers that are in your phone and tell them, oh, this is what I do. I do errand and I do logistics. You can use me, save my contact, tell me your name, let me set it up. And then you start posting about what you do on your WhatsApp status. That is how you build strategy for your business. Now, people might not need you immediately, but trust me, there will be one day that will come, someone might need your service, and you're directing them to traffic via your WhatsApp status. Now, imagine having an app. There are apps on our phone that we don't use. True or false? There are basically apps on our phone we just learned for the first time and we never use them in months. But everyone uses WhatsApp every day. You want to status every day. I told someone that a lady is giving you her phone number. Check very well. That girl has a WhatsApp business. If she might not want you to date her, but the truth is that she might want you to entrepreneur her business. So it's still a strategy. You need to build strategies for your business, whether you like it or not. These things need to be built, right? And there are many young people who are still making these mistakes. They don't know where to start from. They feel, oh, let's hit jackpot, let's hit the money, and let's flaunt and build apps, build fintechs, build this, build that. That's why fintechs keep falling every day. You see apps, you see them. Most of the apps in the financial space are closing up, winding up. 2 seconds, you see them, they do seed rounds and everything. And they're winding up. They're winding up because they don't understand the concepts of building. Technology is, how do I put this now? Technology is an enabler for business. Technology is not the business. The business in fintech is being able to make transactions seamlessly, being able to move money from point A to point B, being able to pay for this service and you get instant delivery for it, right? And the funny part is banks are doing the same thing. Any bank is doing it, Access Bank is doing it, DTB is doing it. And now you come in with your own app and you want to do the same thing too. Like, why would you want to compete with Diamond Bank or Zenith Bank where there are still problems in the financial world that need to be solved? For example, remittance. For example, paying school fees abroad, being able to pay for things abroad. These are problems that need to be solved. How come you're not solving that problem, but you're solving the problem everyone has solved? And now you want me to leave Zenith Bank and come and start using your app that I'm not sure if in the next 5 years you'll still be here. I want you to get where I'm coming from. So most of these developers forget that the business is you being able to meet financial obligations and transactions and not focusing on the app. Many people spend time in making their app look so beautiful and rich, UI, UX, and all of that, and forgetting that there's a business part involved in the app, that the app is just facilitating. So it is as a young person. You need to be able to build your business from ground up and stop looking at things that will enable the business. It's when you build it, you build an ecosystem. Then you can be able to look at enablers that can help your business. For example, Steve Jobs built Apple under 3 principles. The first one, he built a product. The second one, he built ways to distribute the product. And the third one, he built an ecosystem. How did he build an ecosystem? He built an ecosystem by creating a different operating system for Apple. He didn't do the Android thing. He didn't do the BlackBerry thing. He built a different ecosystem for Apple, iOS, and now got developers to start, building apps that will be on the on the Apple Store. How did you get me? So you as a business person or you as a young man that has skill, right? One of the skills you should have is the ability to build. You've built your product, also built ways of distribution, and also built ways of having an ecosystem that needs that product tangible. Let it be that whenever someone looks at your status, they feel that, okay, I need to use this guy's product. I need to send something to someone. Do you get me? I'm sorry, I'm using the logistics example I did earlier. So imagine opening your WhatsApp status and you're seeing this guy's post, the logistics company's post. And then you remember, I need to send this stuff to this person. You then hit the guy up. Okay, can you come and pick this stuff and deliver to this person? Building an ecosystem. As a young person, be able to build ecosystem for your skills. There are people that the only thing they put. There are people that Everything they post on their WhatsApp is not in tandem with what they do entirely. I don't know if you get me. And that's why I really like women that do business on WhatsApp. If you open a girl's WhatsApp, it's looking like a real chain, right? And for everything you see, it's her product. Every single thing you see is her product. But there are so many of us that are even shy of posting what we do on our WhatsApp. And yet you want people to know you and patronize you. I want to see you on the same page and if I'm making sense. Yeah, technology is not a business, but an enabler. So learn how to get people to give you money. Now, the idea of doing business is making sure that people are able to get their money. You are able to get people's money from their pockets into your pockets. Basically, that's the idea of doing business. All right, okay, sorry, I have a call from me. Some people don't even know how to pitch their businesses to people. God have mercy, why am I breaking in? All right, some people don't even know how to pitch their businesses to people. Let's say, for example, now you're in an elevator and Dangote walks in. What do you tell him? There are many people that will just bring out their phone and say, oh, Aliko, let me take a picture with you. They take selfies and they start saying, that you inspire me. You do inspire to acquire. Whereas where you should actually be looking at it, oh, sir, it's nice to meet you. This is what I do. I'm sure I'm so person. I can grant you this service, that service, that service, that service. In that way, you've sold yourself to Dangote. You've sold your business to Dangote. You've sold your product to Dangote. The next time Dangote thinks about you, he's looking at, okay, this guy said he does this. How can I bring him into the conglomerate and let him deliver on his services? Right? So as a young person, you should be able to know how to get people's money into your pocket. The only way you can do that is by going out and pitching yourself steadily, back to back. Someone will tell me, oh, I'm shy. What's that? What do you mean? There was someone I reached out to the other day, and I'm like, why are you not doing this? You're good at this. Why are you not talking about it? And she's like, I'm shy. And I'm like, wow. And you want to make money. So please, as a young person, you should be able to learn how to get people's money into your pocket. Now, so I make lots and lots of notes, but I have 30 minutes, and I'm trying to sieve out, things that you might actually need better. So another thing that young people should learn how to do in order to build skills that will be sustainable is to learn how to invest. There are 3 areas you should invest in: skill investment, knowledge investment, and mind investment, right? So basically, when you're talking about skills are things you've done repeatedly. You learn outside and you keep doing them continuously to the point that you're good at them, right? That is a basic definition of skills. But here's the best part. Many people don't invest in their skills. They just felt, oh, I've learned graphic design with Photoshop, and that is just it. And you forget that Photoshop keeps upgrading every year, every single year. And that was the problem that Nokia had. Nokia said they were the king of the market, and they were good and they were fine, all right. But the problem is they forget that there is a market that keeps innovating. Technology innovates, technology grows, technology builds every second and every day. As a young person, you should be able to invest in your skills. Invest in your skills. Always seek to acquire more knowledge. Always seek to acquire more potential. Always seek to acquire more access. Always seek to acquire more tools. If you're I don't know, I'm using graphic design so much. If you're in the graphics world, notice that people have moved from Photoshop. They moved from Corel Draw to Photoshop, and now they're on Figma. They're actually on Figma. And they can actually share a link of what they are doing with someone else. And the person cannot hit the link and see what they've done, actually make corrections. That's a new level of graphic design. But yet, some people are still stuck with an ancient model of Corel Draw, and they feel, I'm a graphic designer. Now, graphic design has actually evolved. My community manager has gone to the point where she can make mad-ass graphics with just Canva on the go. We have a main graphics guy. He does the prototypes and sends in. We have the paid Canva page, a paid Canva app, and my community manager just gets the prototype he has designed and makes the edits on Canva. And before you know, for every time you have something coming up, all I do is tell like, okay, that same design that was done, change the time, change the place, change the location, and let's post it. And job is done in 2 seconds. If you're someone who is staying in the Stone Age or in the Back Age, you will not be able to know this access. You'll not be able to know this information. You'll not be able to have this information. So every now and then, as a person who is skillful in quotes, you need to be able to look at what is new in your field and upgrade it. Your patterns, for those that do research, there are patterns of even writing research now. It keeps coming up. APA is innovative every year. There are different methods that keeps coming up, and you need to be up to date. So the next one, like I said earlier, is mind investment. I talked about skill and knowledge at the same time. So the next one I'm talking about is mind investing. We're in an age where everybody is in touch with their emotions. We're in an age where every young person has to feel good and well before they can actually deliver, right? The whole thing of mental illness, mental health, be able to invest in your mind, right? Sometimes take off breaks, go on a what's that word again? Go on a retreat and be able to, get the work stress off you. And then, because it's a clear head that can actually be, prove ingenuity. It's a clear head that can actually be creative. So every now and then, invest in your mind. You can, like what I do basically is I take a trip and go to somewhere that is not in my location. I go to somewhere new. I go to somewhere I've not been before. Or I just, go to a hotel, a very good hotel, and spend a night. And, get the whole ease off my head. Because like I told you earlier, I've been on sessions back to back. That sessions were even crashing. So once in a while, take out time as a skillful person or as a creative to invest in your mind. Trust me, it is needed. It is needed. Now, moving forward, another skill young people should have is financial skill, right? This is where many people make mistakes and many people have issues with. You might be very skillful, yes. You might know the onions of your business, yes. But you have the financial acumen to actually handle the finance part of your business. So when it comes to, handling the financial part of your business, there are three things you should know, right? You should know what you owe, what you're owed, and what you own. I'll say that again. You need to know what you own, what you're owed, and what you owe. What you own, OWN, what you owe, OWE, and what you're owed, OWED. Now, what you own are assets. These are your skills. This is your brand name. These are your work tools. These are things that you own. Now, what are you supposed to do with these things? You're supposed to send them out and create a service with them and get something back in return. So in essence, you own assets, you own skills, and what do you owe? You owe services. You owe services. You owe yourself the ability to deliver every skill you have to get in cash, to get in access, to get more networks, to get more collaborations, to get more ideas. Now, I've mixed it up again. So, what you own is what you have. What you owe is what you give out, and what you're owed is what you'll be giving back. So you own your skills, you own your assets, you own your work tools, and all of that. The next thing is what you owe. Oh Lord, Holy Spirit help me. The next thing is what you owe, which are your services you need to render, and what you're owed is what you're paid back. Now, what you're paid back is money, access, resources, ideas, collaborations, and the rest. Now, looking at the financial part of it, many people don't know how to take out their income from their expenditure in order to get their profit. They feel every money that comes in is their profit. No, every money that comes in is not your profit. Now, when we were in school, we taught business math, right? Not really business math. I think it's simultaneous equation or quadratic equation, A plus B minus C equals to X. Now, I tell people, when you're finding X in business, you do the same method, A plus B minus C equals to X. Cost of goods sold plus overhead expenses minus sales will give you your profit. So in essence, what do I mean? If you're someone that sells a product or you offer a service, how much did it cost you in getting all of this? You put it one side. How much will it cost you to deliver this service? You add that together. Now, how much do you think you can put this out for sale? That is your sales. You add the first and the second, and you minus it from the third. That will give you your profit. Now, as someone in business, your profit margin should be roughly above 30%. Always keep this in mind. This is. I'm going to the area of pricing strategy now. Most people know how to put their products up for sale or put their services up for sale. So whatever you're doing, if you're selling out your product or you're selling out your service, let it be above 30%. Now, what do I mean? For example, you bought an exercise. Okay, let me use this for example. This is my glass case. You bought this glass case for 100 naira, right? And shipping this to you costs 20 naira. That's 120. In order to sell this to get your profit, you do 30% of 120. That should be actually 36. Now, 120 plus 36. 120 plus 36 is actually 156. If you sell this at 156, you're making a profit margin of 30%. Now, the idea of making that profit margin of 30% is because inflation is steadily rising. Cost of goods in the market are steadily rising. Now, imagine you selling this thing at maybe, let's say, your cost price was 120. You sold it at 130. Fuel now went up. Shipping that was normally 20 naira, now turned 40 naira. Goods, glass frame that was 100 naira, now turned 120. You see that it's now costing total of 140. And you sold this thing for 130. Now, how do you get money back to actually go back and, buy this thing again? You now have to borrow. And now, because things have gone up, borrowing has also increased, right? The current borrowing cap is at 27.5%. So if you're borrowing money now, you should imagine you now borrowing extra 15 naira at 27.5% interest rate, just so you can be able to sell this again. By the time you're compiling all your expenses together, you would see that there's no longer profit in this thing. You're dealing with people not being able to even buy it again. That's even the worst part. It's not very expensive. Now, something that you'd have done willingly by knowing your financial, by having financial knowledge and, sell this thing once and make your profit and all of it, you're now stressing yourself left and right, looking for it to get more funds to be able to go to the market and get this again. So key points you need to note: whenever you're selling a product or you're giving out your services, make sure that your profit margin is relatively above 30%. Okay, so that's it on financial strategy, pricing strategy, and being skillful. I was given 30 minutes, so I'm trying to just sieve out the information I have and start building out more. So I've talked about learning how to sell. Now, another thing I need to speak about is learn how to deliver consistently, right? Times are hard. Trust me, times are really hard. But the funny part is, now who we see we go buy from? Sure, bah? Now the person where we see now we go buy from. So whatever you do, make sure you're consistent in whatever field you show up in. If you're in photography, graphics, if you're in speaking, if you're in writing, whatever it is, make sure you're consistent in that field. And there's something that consistency does. Consistency builds you to be better. I'm sorry I'm being more of the inspirational, motivational speaker right now, but the honest truth is, it is the person that is consistent. That's the person everyone will want to work with. So consistency has a way of giving you sustainability in your particular field, whether you like it or not. And trust me, sustainability is consistency has to do with being the person that will be paid for. If you're consistent every day, you show up every week, every moment, when the market is bad, when the market is good, when the market is crazy, you're the person that people are going to trust. You don't run away when the market is bad. You don't run away when things are going haywire. You're the person. There's this filling station, right, that always has fuel, even when fuel is scarce. When don't you think that they will win the hearts of people and they will win a bigger customer base by just making sure that they have fuel running available, even in the cash period? This is what consistency can do to your business and can do to your skill. So every now and then, make sure you show up. Now, person will show up, now you go pay. Sorry, I had to go around that route, but that's the honest truth. It's the person that shows up that gets the larger box of everything. So another thing that people need to deal with is learning how to manage their money and learning how to multiply their money. That is with investment. Now, for every time you sell a product or you sell a skill, have something you set aside for future purposes. I'm talking about managing money right now. I'm sorry I'm coming everything together. I apologize again. I just have 30 minutes and I have something else after this. So as a young person in business, whenever you have a sale or whatever it is, make sure you bring out something that goes up for future benefits or for future, endeavors. I call it retained earnings. Make sure you retain something out of your funds for the future. If you're selling this for 150, at least be able to bring out 10%, 15 naira for the future. You sell this 10 times, bring out 15 naira 10 times. That is now 150. If the cost of your work tool is actually that amount, you can actually put it on another one and have someone else that can even help you deliver more on that particular product. So as a young person in business, make sure you actually sieve out something you save from the future. That's why Dangote is still in business. If Dangote ate every single amount of money he got, I don't think we'll be seeing the Dangote we have now. And I don't think that we'll be calling him Africa's richest man, because there's a reason why you need to save out something. I call savings accumulated wealth. The reason why you're seeing these people as richest men on Forbes list or whatever it is because they have something they pile up somewhere. In as much as their business is being profitable and is growing, they still have net worth, they still have assets, they still have liquidity that is piled up somewhere. So as a young person in business that wants to, look at sustainability to be here in the next 5, 10, 20 years, you'll be able to pile up something in case things come up for emergency purposes. And like I said earlier, multiplying money is basically investing. Investing is just adding more zeros to what you have. Now, the ability to make sure that you can, this product as it is now, the ability to make sure that you can bring out the work tools and multiply it, make it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and be able to deliver more on your work is just it in one simple term, right? How would I explain this now? Do I use financial pathway to, talk about, let me use the financial asset such as a keke, right? I don't know how many of us are used to the keke business, right? How many people, let's say a keke carries 60 persons in a day at the rate of 200 naira, right? That's 60 by 200 should be about 12,000. He brings out, let's say 12,000 every day. You multiply that by 7 days. 12 times 7. Ah, God, someone help me out. Whoever is with a calculator should help me out. 12 times 7. I want to show you guys something very unique. If you have the answer, just say it in the background so you can help me out, so we can just be very fast. 12,000 by 7 days in a week. That's 84,000 naira. So every week, a KK person makes 84,000 naira every week as income. Now, take out 14,000 naira. I hope I'm actually right. Take out 14,000 naira for fueling, for, ticketing and every other thing. He still has 70,000 naira. Now, mind you, this is a brand new KK. 70,000 naira by 4 weeks is actually 240,000 naira. So a KK person's income every week is 240,000 naira. Now, multiply this by 12 months. We are reading in millions. Now, how much is the KK? Again, should roughly be 1.5 to 1.8. If he brings out on now 1.5 or 1.8 and gives on that person, right, to start riding with these same statistics we just discovered, with the data we have, this guy would make it roughly 5, 6, 7, 8 million every year if he keeps up with the same process. That is what it means by investing in your business, investing your money in your business, so you can actually expand. And there's no way you can do this if you don't save. If you don't save, this accumulates a percentage of what you're getting from your business or from your skill. You will not be able to expand it. So without further much ado, ladies and gentlemen, my time is already up. I'm very sorry. I had to rush all of this. But I want to use the remaining time to, take up questions. I still have like five minutes to take up questions. So I want to use the remaining 5 minutes to take up questions and see how I can really, help you guys more and, help you guys build up your financial knowledge more. So over to you guys, the audience, ask your questions so we can actually treat them immediately. So I'll be in the comment section waiting for your questions. Thank you guys very, very much. And thank you, please, for putting all of this together. I'm sorry I was speaking very fast. I'm sorry I'm rushing. I have another session by 8:30, and I need to go and prepare for it as well. So thank you guys very, very much. I'm sorry that I had to delay this for a very long time. I'm actually just coming back from work at the same time. So thank you guys so much for your time and for the opportunity to be here on this Global Youth Equipment Community discussion. Thank you all so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful session. We learned so much, and I'm sure that everyone also learned a lot. So, do we have any questions? Joseph, you've been against the class ending, so I'm sure you learned a lot. So ask your questions now. If you have any questions, he is still here to answer your questions. Please ask your questions now on finance. It's not every day that you get to be taught about your finances. So I'm sure we all learned a lot because we are typing and typing. So please ask your questions. Okay, so the first question is here on the chat box.
Yeah,
So
I've seen it.
how do I
How do I,
build ecosystem
yeah,
my business?
how do I build an ecosystem for my business? Very good. Now, if you're starting something, right? Let's say you bake, for example. The first people that are going to be your customers are your family and friends. True or false? These are the first people that are going to be your customers. Now, what if these people now become your first marketers, right? They tell their friends about your business. They tell your friends about your cakes, how sweet your cakes are or your pastry is. This is you being an ecosystem. Now, you now go to people that have events, right? People that are event planners, and you tell them, "Oh, please, I have this pastry. It's so good. I want to taste it. Please, you can recommend me so that whenever you're having your events, you can call me to come and deliver pastries for your events, right?" You're still being an ecosystem. You go around, there are people who have parties and all of that. You keep meeting people. Now, in order to be an ecosystem, you need to be able to network. Right? You need to be able to network. You don't just stay one place, keep quiet, and you say you want to be an ecosystem. No. Everyone around you, every contact you have is in your ecosystem. So you need to be able to tell them what you do and how you can fit into their life. That's the idea of having an ecosystem. An ecosystem is something that revolves around everyone. For example, in the area you are, it's a small ecosystem. If in your lodge, okay, I don't know how many students you have here, but if in your lodge, water stops running, do you know every one of you will be affected? Now, what you guys hold in common, you guys live together, you guys share water together. So, in that same vein, let your business be something that affects every single person. That's why I say, whenever you want to start a business, look for something, a problem that you can solve, or something people hate. Let there be people that have something in common that need you. That is an ecosystem. So, if, for example, you're in an area that everyone is married and does not have time to cook, and you decide to start cooking for them, that's an ecosystem. The ecosystem is employed people, busy employed people that don't have time for their schedule to cook. That is the ecosystem you're looking to penetrate into. So for every business that wants to be created or that wants to be, that wants to go into action, let it always look for an ecosystem that has a problem and you are the one going in to solve that problem. I want to answer that question. Oruko Joseph, I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful answer. I'm sure his question has been addressed. Okay, he said yes. So please, who else has questions? I think Sekinat is typing. Is anyone requesting to speak? Please ask your questions. You can request to speak or you can type it in the chat box. Okay. Okay, as we wait for them to ask their questions, thank you very much, sir, for taking your time to teach us this night. We really appreciate it. And we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot over here. I've learned so much. I've learned a lot on finances, on why I have to save, make sure to save from my earnings, and also how to calculate my profits. And I've also been able to understand the need to show up consistently, as it gives me sustainability in my field, and that is the way to also get better. Okay, I think another question is here. Sir, can you elaborate more on learning by skill?
All right. Hi Joseph, what's up? All right. So um, now here's a valid question. Why do people learn how to do graphics design? It's because there are people who need graphics for their businesses, right? Now, if you are a graphic designer and you put a charge that for every graphics you do, it's worth 5K, aren't you earning from doing graphics? And let's say graphics is your side hustle. You have other things you do. Only if you're getting me. So people have like for example, my community manager is very skillful in in handling communities, right? That is her skill. And she gets paid for it. If you notice, when people are writing their CVs, they write problem solving skill under their skills. Now, one of their skills is problem solving, the ability to solve problems. And people are always looking out for people that can solve problems, because in this world, what are full everywhere. There's always something that is going wrong that needs to be solved. That's the reason why you need these people around. That's why you pay them, to get them in your space, to get them in your companies, to get them around you, to get them to work for you, so that they can use what they have. This, ideas, this, talents, this, brains of theirs, to help make your life easier. The reason why you're in school is because there is someone who is more learned than you that is going to teach you some certain things that you don't know. So that means you're actually paying for someone's knowledge via a school system. Now, imagine paying the guy that barbs your hair. You don't go to barb your hair for free now. Barbing hair is a skill. Plaiting of hair is a skill. These are not done for free. So you need to pay for these things. You need to pay to enjoy these services. Right? And what did you say a skill is earlier? A skill is something you have learned and you've practiced on repeatedly, that you're an expert in it. That is a skill. So if I've learned how to type, right, and I've done this over and over, and I'm an expert typist, don't you think I'll be typing people's projects in school and get paid for it? This is just it. So it's not rocket science. And trust me, it's easier to even earn money, and it's harder to, how would I put it? It's very easy to spend money than it is to retain money, right? It's easier to earn money and it's harder to retain money. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. So I hope I've answered your question, Joseph. Does anyone else have a question? I think my time is already up. My other session is roughly 5 minutes. Oh, God help me. Ha!
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Joseph, please go ahead.
So
no, let Joseph go ahead. Let Joseph go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So far, I think you've done a wonderful job. Thank you very much, sir. So, sir, I want to ask, in course of building financial stability, can one actually, is it possible to multitask?
Is it possible to what?
Multitask. Like you mentioned about being consistent at what you do. Then multitasking comes in form of like different skills or different jobs at the same time. Is that possible?
Now, the idea of multitasking, I always use as, let's use a side hustle, for example. Now, imagine if me, for example, I work in a bank, right? And I have a side hustle as a speaker and a writer. You don't understand that my major job is the bank job that gives me more money than this other side. Yes, these other areas gives me money, but not as much as this side gives me. Now, once in a while, this other side can give me plenty money as well. But the main thing that keeps me level-headed is my main job, which is the banking job. For you to be able to multitask, one particular tax has to be independent to be able to run on its own through systems you have created. Are you with me? Just like a side hustle. Before you can say, before you turn your side hustle into a main hustle, your main hustle should be able to stand. And then you pick the side hustle, grow the side hustle to be able to stand on its own. Then you create another side hustle again. There are people that have 5 different streams of income. These 5 different streams of income did not start one day. They first built one, that one was able to stand on its own. Then they started building another one, built that one to stand on its own. They started building another one again. So if you want to multitask, make sure you have a system that can run independently without your attention. I don't know if you get what I'm doing. Now, can I be recording myself and be talking? If I had a system or a structure like a tripod stand and I keep in one corner, positioning it well, I can be recording myself and be talking at the same time. True or false? True. That is me multitasking. So you need to have this pattern laid out straight. Let it be something that if you can look at it in 2 seconds, it's done. If women want to cook right now, they know all the ingredients they need to put and at the right time to put them when they start cooking. So a lady can be cooking and actually be sweeping the house. Because you know, in the next 2 minutes, I need to get the rice down from fire and wash it. And then she sweeps a portion of the house in 2 minutes. Now she has developed structures, so how she's going to sweep the house. She sweeps a portion of the house in 2 minutes, goes back to the kitchen, brings down the rice, washes it, put it back on fire, and she knows that in the next 5 minutes, I need to pour this, I need to pour that, I need to pour that. She goes back inside the house, sweeps on that portion of the house in 5 minutes, then goes back to the kitchen, and she's able to put this into the rice. There's a structure already laid out that makes it easier to multitask. So make sure you're good in this particular field and you've developed a system that can consistently run on its own without your interference and be able to build the next one. Never answered your question.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Anytime. All right. So, my time is up. I'm sorry.
The final question. Sir.
Yeah?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, sir. Please, I have a final question. This is my own question.
Okay.
All right. So we often hear that we shouldn't save money because when we just keep money in our bank account, more like it is getting devalued, that we should invest our money. So is there a certain amount of money a person should be making for them before they can start investing? And how can someone start it? For beginners, where do they start from when it comes to investments? Thank you, sir.
All right. So let me start with the savings part. You don't just wake up and you start saving. You need to have money to start saving. Now, where is that money going to come from? Sorry, you don't just wake up and start investing. Sorry. You don't just wake up and start investing. You need to have money before you invest. Now, where does that money come from? From your savings. Now, where does the money for you to save come from? From what you earn, from the job you're doing, from what you are being paid, your remuneration and all of that. Now, look at the trajectory. You earn money, then you save, and then you invest. Now, when it comes to saving, you know what I advise people. You don't just save money in the bank. You save money in a high yield savings account, right? Things like piggy vest, things like cowrie wise, accounts that can give you higher returns, roughly 12, 10, 14% per annum on your savings. Now, this helps you even fight back inflation. If average inflation is at 10% per annum, the interest you have earned from that savings can help you fight back the inflation. Only if you're getting me. Now, when it comes to investing, there are 2 places I tell people to look at to invest. Number 1 is the financial market. Number 2 is the real sector. Now, the real sector entails business and products and services you see and touch every single day. You're looking at the manufacturing industry, the banking industry, the transportation industry. That's the real sector. Like we talked about the keke business, right? That's real sector. So it's either you invest in a business or you invest in an asset that you can fix asset like real estate and the rest. That is on the real sector side. But in the financial market side, this is you being able to buy financial assets every now and then from time to time with two key principles. Either you're buying it now for a long period of time to get a certain interest rate for the period of time you're buying it for, or you buy assets at a low price and sell them at a higher price. And now, by buying low and selling high, this is what I'm talking about, things like shares and stocks and the rest. And when it comes to buying shares and stocks, I tell people that particular company use their products every day. Why don't you buy their shares and stocks? If I see you use an iPhone, if you ask, do you have Apple stocks? One question I ask everyone is, you use an MTN line. How much do you spend in a month subscribing and for data and for airtime? Why is it that you don't have MTN shares? Is it that you're comfortable helping MTN make money and you don't want to make money back from them? There are two types of shares, right? Dividend paying shares and growth dividend stocks and growth stocks. Now, dividend stocks are stocks that pay you a part of their profit. They pay their profit to you, a part of their profit to you, based on how many shares you have. Now, growth stocks are stocks that, that these stocks are growing from every now and then. Today, they could be 100 naira. Tomorrow, they could be 150. Tomorrow, they could be 180. Tomorrow, they could be 200. And when it comes to growth stocks, always look out for trends. We saw what happened between Tony Limelu and Otedola on Transcorp. Why people were saying, Otedola is trying to buy over Transcorp. Transcorp shares were busy shooting up. They went as high as 30% in a week because of all that drama. Because knowing that Otedola is coming in, Otedola is a businessman. So if Otedola comes into Transcorp, he's going to make sure Transcorp returns go up. People started buying into Transcorp. And the more they bought into it, the more the valuation of Transcorp went up. And people started cashing out. Now, some that bought Transcorp at a very low price, when they said that Transcorp was getting more attention and more attraction, they started selling. Because they've made... Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible? Because they've made certain amount of profit off what was trending. Now, we are looking at the Israel and the Hamas or the Palestinian war, the war at Gaza going on right now. Some people are shouting, justice for Israel, justice for Palestine. Some people like me are busy buying shares of weapons company, Lockheed and Co. This company were making as much as 10% every day. Because why? Hamas is firing artillery and bombs in Israel. Israel uses the Iron Dome to repel these bombs. Now, for every repellent Israel does is $10 million. And Hamas fired 90 bombs in 1 minute. So it means that the company that Israel is buying these things from is about looking at $9 billion in like a day. And they will keep buying. Now, when the demand is high, what happens? The price will increase. So if you're someone that bought stocks for weapons company, you'll be smiling to the bank man and say, let this one continue, let me making more money. So that's why I tell young people, always make sure you watch the news, because your next gold mine is just on the news. It's very funny that we don't take these things very seriously. Business news will help you a lot if you actually pay attention to it. If you've been following crypto news for the past 1 week, you notice that Bitcoin has been jumping up. Analysts are saying that by the end of next week, Ethereum should be at $2,000. If you don't follow the news, how would you know? How would you know where to invest? How would you know where to put your money? Right? And there's something I always tell people, learn to always buy the rumor and sell the news. Buy when people start talking about it and sell when everyone knows about it. That's the gospel truth. If you actually want to make it big in the financial market, buy it when people don't know about it and sell it when everyone's talking about it. So I hope I've answered your question. Down from savings down to investments. Hello, Peace, are you there?
Very much, sir. Thank you very much for that answer. I got a lot from it, and I really appreciate that you took your time to answer the question elaborately. So I hope we got value from tonight's session. please, can you type in the comments box, what do you have to tell our speaker for today? Thank him in the comment section. Thank him in the comment section. Let me see your
All right,
emojis.
peace.
Let me see your screens. Thank
All right,
you.
peace. Thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry I have to rush all of this because I have other sessions online. I have consultation by 11 and all of that. So I need to go and prepare and prepare myself for everything. So I'm sorry I have to delay this till now. And I'm sorry that the condition I'm in is not really a good one. So thank you guys for having me. Please forgive me if you felt I spoke too fast. You can send a message on my Instagram at I am_Kelechukwu. You can check me out on Instagram, ask your questions there. I will gladly answer each and every one of them. And there are some certain things that are there on my feed that you can actually, go through and really help yourself. So there's a whole lot of materials there and a whole lot of information and resources there. So you can just go there and enrich yourself with more financial knowledge. All right. Thank you so much, peace. Thank you so much, Global Youth. I pray you guys, do more, and I pray to see you guys very soon in a bigger landmark and a bigger space. Thank you all, and God bless you guys. Good night.
Thank you, sir. God bless you too. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining tonight's session. So I'll send our speaker's social media handles so that you can connect with him. If you have any questions, you can ask him. He's active on Instagram. So thank you very much for joining tonight's session. I hope you got value. Please let me see your emojis. Let me see your emojis. Let me see your messages in the comment section. What do you have to say about tonight's session? All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much for being active. Thank you for your questions. So we'll see in our group, in our community. So thank you everyone. Every other activity will happen in our WhatsApp community. Good night.